And then I grew up playing there till I was 16. I played for England I was about 13, so I played for the under 15s, under 17s, under 19s, under 23s. And then club wise, I went from Leicester at 16. I joined Arsenal. I broke into the first team at 16. And then I was away playing against USA actually, in La Manga, and I got a really bad knee injury. It's called your ACL. So I did that twice whilst I was at Arsenal. So from, I think it was 16 to 18, I didn't play for about 2.5 years. And then, so I was at Arsenal. They were probably the best team in England at the time. And then I moved to Birmingham, who they was probably the second best team. But in between, so whilst I got injured, I studied to do my SATs because I wanted to go play in college in America. So I did my SATs and I went and visited a couple of colleges. But then I didn't realise the state I'd come back in after like all my rehab and stuff. But we ended up playing Champions League football. So I ended up staying in England, because I wanted to play Champions League. Yeah. So I didn't go college in America in the end, but I really wanted to. So I chose full-time football, and then I played pro at Birmingham. I've played pro from about 18 to 27 now. So that's about it, really, I think.
That's all right. That's incredible. So you played in the Champions League?
Yeah, I played
on a number of occasions.
World Cups and stuff, but I never quite made it. But yeah, no, I think considering like my injuries are quite bad, because you don't just hurt your ACL, like you do like everything in your knee. So yeah. I think considering like I'm just obviously grateful to still be playing like full time and professionally, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
Oh, well, you've fit in an amazing amount in a short period, obviously. So how many games do you think you've played, Kirst, so far in your career?
Ooh.
Approximately.
I wouldn't even work it out, because at first when the full-time league started, we went quite small, so there was only like 8 teams in our league, so you only got about 20 apps at club per year, but then you had cup game. I don't know, about 3. That's a hard.
It doesn't have to be an exact number, just that's fine. I was expecting about 300-400, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not an exact number, don't worry.
I've never been asked that question.
And what position?
Either, so I'm like.
That's all right. What positions do you play, just so the guys are aware?
But that's really interesting as well. So
you do know the answer to this one, don't you?
I've played in so many positions, and I think it's so helpful for especially younger footballers to try and play in different positions. I think I've learnt so much over the years. So I started off as a wing. I played on the wing at Arsenal, and then I've played centre half at England. I've played fullback at England. I've played number 9 at England. I played 9 at striker at Birmingham, and then I played in an attacking midfield role, and now I'm playing defensive midfield. So
you've been all over the shop, yeah.
So yeah, I play everywhere. It's a bit random, but I think you can play everywhere. You're just confident everywhere.
I think we're trying to say that to the boys and the girls about it's maybe not so common at times, but we're trying to say it's really important for different positions to learn, and you might stumble into a position that you didn't think you could play that you might be superb at. And, we're trying to tell the guys that as well.
No, definitely. I think like you learn so much. So even playing centre half, although I didn't want to play there, I was still trying to learn what was hard so I wanted to be a striker at that time, what was hard for a striker to beat a centre half when I was playing there. So I found it really helpful. You can always twist it around, and I think just being on the pitch in general, if you've got a chance to play fullback, if the winger's playing really well, then I think it's a good attribute to have if you're comfortable playing in different positions. Yeah.
Definitely. Just one more question from me. We, as I say, we've got a team at very different levels at the minute and different ages as well. So our girls team's probably over, we've got an 8-year-old playing in that team as well. So it's really, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So It is amazing. She's done incredibly well. So I guess my question is, when you were younger, were you playing boys football? Were you playing girls football? Was it hard to find, a level? Because I imagine you were pretty good as a kid.
Yeah.
So what was your kind of pathway as a kid?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think it's all about finding your level, and finding a level and then being pushed as well. So I feel like the girls was a bit easy for me at that age. So I always continued with my boys team as well. We actually got in England at the time, it was illegal to play over the age of 11 with boys. But I managed to play at school with them. And then I'd play as much as I could outside of school or in school with the boys. So as soon as I got home, I'd be playing with my brothers in the garden, the boys on the street, I'd be playing in the street. So I think it's good to have that physical like contest against the boys, because sometimes if you find yourself, if you are better technically than the girls, that it comes a little bit easy and you start doing that you wouldn't do when you're a bit older. So you need to be pushed like on different things. I think that's important.
Yeah, good. Chris, before we go on to the kids, have you got any questions, Chris? Chris is the co-founder of the club as well. Kirsty.
Hi, Kirsty. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit older than most people on here, but I was going to say traditionally it was the boys' sport in England, wasn't it? And girls struggled to find teams, you know. And was that your? I know you said that you started playing with your brothers in the back garden. You know, were the teams around for girls then? I know it's not too long ago for you, but you know, was there a lot of girls playing?
No, not really. I think I played for a boys team, and then you'd still get the comments like, oh wow, they have a girl, and then it was like they couldn't believe that a girl was playing for a boys team, and probably better than most of the boys at the time. So that was good. And I think it was just unusual for the boys to see it, and I think it was okay for me because I was used to playing with the boys, so I didn't find it uncomfortable. But I guess it was hard growing up being the only girl in most teams, really. But I think it's character building, and you try and look at the positives. Like I know at the time that it was pushing me, and it was harder to play against them boys at the time. So I think little things like that motivate you. And who doesn't love beating boys when you're a girl? It's like the best thing.
Yeah. So being mentally tough is really important too, isn't it, for the boys and girls who are on here now? Yeah,
definitely. I think obviously, like even if you're not the most gifted footballer, I think if you're mentally strong and you push through that and you keep working towards something, I think it's so important to be mentally strong, because it's not all about the most talented ones. I think there's so many footballers out there that have proven that if you work hard, you can make it that way as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks. She's going to hate me for this, but I'm going to go, and don't worry if you've not got one, Leah, but I'm going to go to the birthday girl. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Leah, have you got any questions that you'd like to ask? And don't worry if you haven't.
No, I don't have anything to ask.
You have no questions. All right. Okay. Well, listen.
I'll ask Leah a question because it's her birthday. Okay. What team would you like to play for when you're older?
Mommy, we go.
Do you have a favorite
team? I
team?
A bunch of teams because I don't really watch soccer a lot, and I don't really know any teams.
Leah's a really new convert to soccer.
Oh, you're new. Do you have a favorite position to play in? Are you a defender or an attacker?
I'm a defender.
Oh, that's cool then.
She's a mean defender.
With your new journey, I'm sure you'll pick it up really quickly. Are you enjoying it?
Leah will smile. She'll smile while she kicks you. Yeah.
Are you a defender?
No, I'm a midfielder now. I do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Hannah, before I open up to the boys, Hannah, have you got any? I can see you having a lollipop there, so you look busy. But have you got any questions, Hannah? On the all right, now you're in the
Why did you start soccer?
Why? I played lots of sports when I was younger, but I absolutely love playing soccer, football we call it. But I just completely fell in love with it, and I think I was quite good, so I think that had something to do with it. And it was my sole aim to beat my brothers, even though they were older than me. That's all I wanted to do was be better than them.
Cool. I have a younger brother.
Oh, do you play football with him in the garden?
Not the best.
Do you beat him? That's all right. As long as you beat him, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that after this, the girls are going to want to play the boys. That's and beat them. That's the moral.
What do you mean about the boys? I'll answer their questions.
Let's go for it. Katie, any question?
No.
No.
Not really.
No worries. Is Elise our cheerleader?
Elise will have one.
The most talkative people in the world, and then it gets to Q&As, they're like,
yeah. They'll have a million when you've gone, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Elise, we can't hear you. Take your mute button off 1 second. There we go.
Did you ever win against your brothers when you played soccer?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely winning now because neither of them play. So, but they used to make me go in goal as well. They wouldn't let me play on pitch, so I got quite good in goal. And then I was like, I need to get better than my brothers so I can play on pitch. So they weren't very nice to me. They stuck me in goal. But I do like playing in goal. Actually, it's pretty fun. Have we got any goalkeepers on here?
Well, yeah. You have Isla. Isla's here.
Yeah.
Have you got a question, Isla?
She's on mute.
Yes, I do. So what do you wish you would know at our age? Like what advice?
Oh, that's a good question. Very good. So I would, if I went back, I'd like to not enjoy. I think sometimes, when it's really easy for you, you really enjoy scoring loads of goals and stuff. I wish that I challenged myself a little bit more and made it a bit harder, because I think it helps when you're older, more like football brain wise, rather than just dribbling in and out of everyone. I think if I was challenged a bit more, it would have definitely helped me when I was older, when I lose my pace and I can't rely on running. So yeah, I'd do that. And yeah, I think I always enjoyed it as well at that age. I definitely always although that's what I wanted to do as a job, I definitely always tried to smile while I was playing and enjoy it, because I think that's what gets you. If you love something, you'll do anything to do it. So I think keep enjoying it. Good question though.
It is, and the girl. Sorry, Laurie, mate. I was going to say the girls are in a situation because they're so new. They've been going through a rough time results-wise. But we've been talking to them about it's important just to keep going and keep improving yourself and not necessarily worry too much about the results. Would you agree with that, Kirsty? It's early, right? Yeah,
I've currently been doing a under-14 boys team over here, and they've been together 4-5 weeks now, and the other teams in the league have been together for years, and they get beat every week at the minute. But the improvements I'm seeing week in, week out is so important. I think obviously results wise, I know eventually they're going to start getting the results if they keep sticking up what they need to work on. So it's just so important to stick to the process and keep practicing what you're not doing very well, whether it's defending or patterns of play or anything like that. I think it's really important to just keep going, definitely, and the results will come. If you're playing well and you're still losing, I think it's take positives and just keep building on that. So don't worry about the results at the minute. We lost loads of games last year, so it happens to everyone.
There you go, girls. There you go.
Right, I apologise if there's any more of the girls on it, but we've got some of the names are not on there, so please just shout up if you are on here. In the meantime, I'll open it up to the boys. So do we have any questions from the boys? Is that Fletcher with his hand up? Go on then, buddy.
So,
Oh, great background.
Are there any tips on heading that we should get to know?
Oh, yeah. So attacking or trying to beat people in the air. Shooting with your head.
He's a defender, so
Yeah.
I guess primarily defending. But
Okay, if you're a defender, I think it's really important to read the game. So if someone's shaping up to kick it long over the back four, then you need to drop, and then you can go and attack it rather than running backwards and heading it, and it bounces off the back of your head. So read the game, and if they look like they're going long, then you give yourself a little space, and then you can go and attack it. I think when you're running onto a ball, it's a lot easier to head it rather than running back.
Is there any way to control headers too?
Oh no, not really. I think for a defender you want height and distance, so you want as much power in it as possible, really. And then if you're a defender, yeah, and then on corners, I think if you're attacking it, if you want to go and score, I think it's really important to head it first and then move your head if you're trying to direct it into a certain. You need to always get good contact on your forehead, because if you head it anywhere else, it's not going to go where you want.
And it's going to hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Fletcher, I've only just seen Fletcher, the mighty left back. I've only just seen your name. Good question though, buddy. Guys, anybody else? Any more questions?
Alex has got his hand up.
Where's Alex? There we go. Alex, very politely.
What's your favorite team?
My favourite team, men's team in the Premier League. I'm from a town called Leicester, and they won the Premier League at 5,000 to 1 a few years ago, if anyone heard about that. But they're my team. They're my favourite team. And then obviously I have a secret soft spot for Liverpool at the minute.
Good question, Alex. Carter.
Who's your favorite player other than you?
Other than me. That's a good question. So, there's so many good players. I think women. That's a really hard one. Women wise, I really like.
Fletcher's pointing at himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like the USA players, actually, the women ones. I think they're fantastic, all of them. I'd go for Johnson or Tobin Heath, I like. And then Mel wise, I like, who do I like in the Prem? That's a really hard question. I like Harry Kane for England, just because he scores loads of goals, and he's not the best player, but he's really smart. Like, he's got a really good football brain. And midfielders. That's a really hard question. I used to love Pirlo. He was like one of my favourite ever players. He's an Italian midfielder, if anyone wants to Google him after. He was amazing. I'm not sure many of you will know who he is, but yeah.
He played in America, didn't he, in the end? So they might. Some of the parents may.
Actually. Yeah.
Christian. The screen keeps moving, but it's on you, buddy.
Is there anyone that you modeled your game after?
I think that's quite hard. I've played in so many different positions that I've watched so many different players, but no, not really, not massively. But I like players who have had a hard time. So if they've had a lot of injuries and they always manage to claw their way back, I think I love people with like mentally strong attitudes and a die-hard kind of attitude. So I think that's really important. So whatever's thrown at them, they'll just manage to come back.
Good question, Christian. Kellen, you've been very patient there. On you, buddy.
What would you do if you didn't have a soccer career?
Oh, good question. So we play a game over here called cricket, and I was really good at that. I was actually better at cricket than football, but it's a bit boring, so I chose football.
Well, you know how boring your baseball is? It's even more boring than baseball. Okay?
It's way more slower than baseball, so yeah, I definitely would have chose football over that. But also I wanted to be a jockey. I loved horses growing up, and I had to quit when I was about 16 when I played full time. But yeah, I grew up in a thoroughbred farm, so they were into horse racing, so that was fun. It's a bit crazy though, but yeah, it was good fun. I probably would have done that. Something in sport, definitely.
Something in sports, yeah. Isla, you got another question? Go for it.
So I have one random question and one, I guess, kind of serious question. Who was your idol growing up? Like soccer or just regular idol growing up?
Okay. There was this woman called Kelly Smith. She played in America in the end. She used to play she's England's top goal scorer. She doesn't play anymore. She's retired, but I thought she was a really good role model growing up, and I got to play with her at Arsenal, so that was pretty amazing. And just I'd say Kelly Smith the most. And then what was the other question? Sorry.
Random question. What is your favorite brand of soccer shoes or football shoes, I guess?
I'm a we call it Nike. I'm definitely I got injured in Adidas boots, so I've not worn them since. I was Adidas before, but now I'm Nike. I have to stick with Nike.
Okay, thank you.
Brody, there you are, buddy.
How far are you allowed to go away from the goal when you're a defender?
Oh, from your defending goal?
Yeah.
Oh, you can join in. If you're losing, you throw everyone towards the goal. You want to get the ball as high as you can. I'm not sure my manager would agree, but
it's all right. Brody throws himself up there anyway. Don't worry about that.
I feel like Brody's stuck in defence and wants to move further up. Brody,
I've got a theory that all defenders want to be strikers anyway. So.
Let him at least go up for corners.
Good question, Brody. Elijah.
What's your favorite part about being a midfielder?
I love that you get to do bits of both. So you get to defend and do all the dirty work and get stuck in, but you also get to attack as well, and you get forward as much as possible. I mean, it's a lot of running. You can get past all the running, and then it's good fun.
Very good. Good question, Elijah. Out of interest, what's your favourite part, Elijah? Because I know you're a centre midfielder.
I like that I get to get forward and maybe have chances to score goals.
Yeah, that's
which
good.
Is funny, Kirst. It's funny, Kirst, because he's an all-round. He'll smash everyone. Tackles, runs, hits everyone. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say tackling.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, also that.
They're the best builders. I love that. They're missing from the game, so I'm glad that they're still going strong in the younger ages.
Definitely. Alistair, I think, have you got your hand up? I know you've not got a camera on, but it says I know your hand's up, buddy.
Yeah, so what's your favorite position to play?
Oh, good question. Well, considering that I've played all positions now, I definitely like an attacking midfield role, because normally it's a bit of a free role and you find loads of space and pockets and you don't really have to track back as much. So that's quite a luxury position. So that's definitely the best, I think. So if any midfielders out there ask to play in the 10 role.
Brilliant.
I play the 10 role.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're lucky. Keep playing there, because I definitely find it fun.
Hannah, got another question from Hannah.
do you have any other hobbies other than soccer?
Oh, no, I just have a dog and I like walking my dog now. The older I get, the less I can do. I feel like I need a lot of rest time now, and I don't have much time to do anything else. Also, any other hobbies, when you're contracted, you're not allowed to do much else, like other sports. So that's a bit boring. But I mean, I get to play the best sport, so it's not too bad.
And I have one more question. What is your dog's name?
My dog's name is Luna, after Luna Lovegood on Harry Potter.
And I've got a question, Hannah. Why am I getting dizzy looking at you going upside down?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like flipping. I'm trying to get plugs to work, but I'm not flipping.
No worries. Carter, go on, buddy.
What would be your biggest tip on being an attacking midfielder?
Oh, I think watching players in that position, so young players that are up and coming. So have you got a piece of paper and pen there to write them down? You have to watch these names on YouTube, okay, and watch what they do. You ready?
Yeah.
Phil, Phil. Foden, Foden. Watch him. He's really young, and if you want to learn how to play the 10 role, just watch what he does. I feel like they really connect the play, so they drop in and they try and find loads of space, and then they turn and they try and pass it to the wingers and the forwards. I think that's really important for a 10 to do.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Good lad. Guys, last couple of questions. I'm conscious of the time, and let's say Kirsty had a game today, so she is tired as well. So let's start to wrap it up. Any last couple of questions that anybody would like to ask? Anyone? Is it
Elise there?
What part of midfield do you play? The left side, right side, or do you play center mid?
Oh yeah. So I play in the middle. So we play with 3 midfielders in the middle, and we have 2 holding midfielders, and then we have 1 attacking midfielder. So I play sometimes in the attacking bit and then sometimes in the holding midfield. I play either one, but I prefer the attacking one.
We got a question from our new boy here, Bedaloo. Got a question. What do you got, buddy?
What's the biggest tip for tackling?
For tackling, win the ball. Make sure you come out with the ball, okay? Even if the player goes on the floor, you come out with the ball, okay? No, I think so tackling, a good tip. So I always got taught, if the ball goes past you, the player doesn't, so you have to block the player. But if the player goes past you, the ball doesn't. And that's a good one. I like that from when I was younger.
We'll try that out this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then, and we'll do the last question. I think Isla.
So this is a horse-related question. Did you ever run in a race, like actually?
Oh no, that was my dream though. I always wanted. So you can only do pony racing when you're like under 16 over here. But I never got to. I was always riding the bigger horses. There was never a pony around to go and join the races.
Yeah, I ride horses too.
Do you? Have you raced?
No, I jump.
Oh, show jumping. Okay. I wasn't that good.
Chris, I told you we should have got a jockey on and not a footballer. I told you.
A bit sidetracked here.
That's all right. I'm only kidding, Isla.
It's
sorry.
Nice, it's
sorry,
cool.
Matthew. I've seen that you got your hand up, buddy. Have you still got a question if you're there?
Yes.
Go for it then, mate.
What style of play do you like?
Oh, I love trying to play football. So playing out from the back, playing through the thirds, that's my kind of football. Like the Spanish, they're my favourite. But I mean, all types of football are good to learn. So sometimes you have to learn to kick it long. If you're not as good as the time and place. I'm sure they're trying to teach you about that.
And also, Is it more comfortable answering questions from kids than news reporters?
Oh, definitely. This is way more fun. I really enjoyed this one, so thank you. You should all get hired.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up there. Kirsty, thank you ever so much, guys. What do we say to Kirsty?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good luck with
Thank
your
you.
season.
Thank you.
Don't worry about the
Thank
results.
you.
Just keep practicing and working hard. They'll
Yeah.
come. Results will come. I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks, Kirsty. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks,
See you later.
Kirsty.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.